Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have country artist Frank Vieira.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Fill it up now, get the good times going. Cat tip back, cold cans flowing. It's on tonight. We ain't slowing down. Yes, fill it up now, get the beers on the table. Ping pong ball, shout if you rebel. It's on tonight. In a county road kind of town.
How old were you when you started playing guitar?
You know what? I was not as young as most people think. I picked up a guitar in high school and then didn't really start playing until I really got to college. So I was a late bloomer.
Did you take guitar lessons or are you self taught?
I'm pretty self-taught. I mean, my dad had a guitar growing up, so he always played around the house, and I think for the most part, most of my education in playing guitar was just having it and fiddling around on it.
What got you into the country music? Was that something you grew up listening to around the house?
No, I mean, I listened to a lot of different stuff as a kid growing up, and country music was, I don't know, again, it was kind of like a later thing for me. We had a baseball team probably when I was like 13, 14 years old that when we would travel to road trips, all listen to country music. So that was probably where it started, and just kind of stuck with it, listened to it more than anything else, and that was about that.
Now, what was the first song you ever learned on guitar?
That's a great question. I mean, I'm sure I did like the staples of you know like Smoke on the Water and uh, all the other things. I think the first song that I actually like really tried to master and sing at the same time was Keith Urban's "You'll Think of Me," if you know that song from back in the day. It might be like a 2002 jam.
When me and you first met, you were playing solo guitar and stuff. How 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 long ago was it that you formed your band that you're playing out with now?
Um, so we've had a couple different iterations of the band, and you and I have met. We know each other way back, man. I feel like it's been a whole 10 years or something. Um, but there's been a couple different iterations of the band throughout time, and you know, it's just been cool to see the evolution of things. And I probably started playing with a band about 7 years ago, um, and then just you know the crew we've had now. Most of those guys have been there um, for a while, for 4 or 5 years, and Joey hopped on board a couple of years ago. So it's been good, man. It's been a fun journey.
Now, how did you get a hold of these guys? Did you know them from around the scene, or did you just put out an ad, or what?
It's funny because like just throughout time, like it's changed so much. Like the very first band that I put together was all people off of Craigslist, and it was also the bass player was a friend from college who did photography, so he was in like the same uh, classes as I was. And then the funny thing, as time went on, the bass player became a different friend from college, and that's the only person. Like, it seems like the bass players are the only people that I've actually known outside of music, which is funny. But Brad's been playing with me for I don't know, man, maybe six or 7 years, which is cool. And then the rest of the guys are just people you meet as you kind of go along on the journey and talk to different people who have similar interests music wise and different bands that are doing stuff. And um, I'm really fortunate, man. The band is lights out, so those guys are all super pro.
How do you go about the songwriting process?
Songwriting for me is part like work and part, creative outlet. So I tend to write a lot of songs. Just kind of given the industry with the country music stuff, you tend to write a lot with other people. So we've been trying to do that, and it's actually I've probably written more this year during the pandemic because we're not out playing every weekend. So it's you kind of sit down and write a little bit more and write with people that you don't necessarily write with all the time, which has been cool. But as far as the process, every song's kind of different. I usually try to approach things from the title out, but um, you never know. Like sometimes a melody will pop into your head and you kind of work off that, or you have a really good line and you work off that, or you have a title that you think is a solid start and work off that. But you write enough of them, they all kind of have their own little story within the story. So.
You're originally from New York. What made you choose Pittsburgh as your home base?
So I went to college at Robert Morris University, and I liked it so much I stayed and got married, and we're raising our kids here. So Pittsburgh's really, it's been my home as much as any place I've ever lived. So
Your musical influences.
I suppose my musical influences, I always give, Eric Church and Dirk Bentley a lot of credit, and that's probably like every interview I've done, they get a lot of credit. So I'll go off their tangent, and I think a guy that doesn't get enough credit from me when I do these interview type things is Brad Paisley, or there's a Canadian artist named Dean Brody, and they're kind of cut from the same lyrical vein, and they kind of have a little bit more quirkiness to them. So those guys have always had a big influence on me too.
Your last couple videos have been pretty wild. Like you had one video, it was kind of like a video game with you in it. And that was called Heartbreak. Heartbroke? Okay. And the other video has you fixing things with tape, more with less. Now, how did you come up with those ideas for doing that?
So I'll start with the Heartbroke video. So at the start of that, I dabble in web design and web development, and I thought it would be a cool idea to actually like make a video game. So I actually made an entire video game that is what you saw on the screen, and we originally were going to release it to people. And the trouble with releasing like video games and phone apps is there's all these hoops that you have to jump through as far as getting licensed and doing you know uh, there's just a lot to do to get the product out to people. So I kind of ended up making it a nod and just keeping the YouTube thing as the video of me playing it. um, I still have it on the computer, so I could play it anytime, which is cool. um, but the other one, we worked with a friend of mine named Fernando de la Cruz, who's just great filmmaker, and he did a bang up job on that. We wanted to do like a one take walk through a garage and just funnily fix stuff. So that was kind of a cool concept, and we had a lot of fun with it. And um, hopefully the video has a few laughs in it.
I'll take my coffee black and hold the coke in my liquor. I'm paid by the hour, but I get it done quicker. Burn the green right off of this paycheck in a week. 'Cause I could do more with less. Catch a largemouth on a 2-pound taste. It ain't always pretty, it's always my best. I could do a lot with a little. We'll build a paradise right here in the middle of nowhere. I'd rather be you and me.
Since the lockdown, you said you've been recording new music and stuff. Are you planning on releasing any single or an album anytime soon?
Yeah, we have a brand new album coming out on April 23rd. So That's pretty exciting. I actually just got the stuff back the other day. I think I announced it this morning, actually. So this is good timing. Um, but um, I think you can go like download or buy or whatever and get a free track right now. So um, yeah, the pre-order thing, and that's pretty cool. And um, we'll probably pick another single off the record and try to keep sending stuff to radio. And um, it's been cool. I'm really lucky that we get to keep making and playing music.
Now, what's the song that you get when you pre-order it? What's the name of it?
The song that they get right now is Limbo Lane, which is also the title track of the album. So it's a neat song. It's a very very quarantiney kind of song.
Have you played out recently, or
Yeah, um, it's been funky because almost everything's been an acoustic show. We have, I mean, as a band, we haven't played together since last September, I think. Um, which, when you're used to playing 2 or 3 times a week is really, really bizarre. So, that's kind of been tough, but the acoustic stuff has been nice, and just grateful for the opportunities because I know a lot of people, you know, a lot of people aren't playing right now. So I'm just happy to be able to get out and play a little bit where we can, and I'm grateful to the venues who keep booking me. So that's a good thing.
what's your next date to play out?
I'm actually playing Saturday in Deer Lakes on April 3rd, and then April 16th we're back at 31 Sports Bar, um, and then I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. We were just down in our first travel date of the year was in Maryland last weekend, so that was good. It's nice to see stuff kind of slowly opening back up.
What are you currently listening to?
I don't know. It's kind of the same stuff I always listen to. I always listen to, uh, I guess, the contemporary country radio stuff, and I listen to Eminem and uh, a bunch of old hip hop stuff and some weird metal bands, and I don't know, kind of have a relatively eclectic taste.
Where could we get a hold of you guys at? For websites, Facebook, Twitter?
Oh yeah, you can hop onto frankvieira.com or any social media really, and just type my name in and find me. Um, Social media is a crazy thing, man. Um, but yeah, those are probably the best ways to find me. And as far as finding our music, if you hop onto the Spotify or the iTunes, you can do the same thing, and hopefully we'll pop up.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about or add?
No, I mean, I'm just happy to hang out, man, and happy to have a couple minutes with you, and appreciate you having me on, and hopefully everybody out there will go check out the new record when it comes out, and those are all good things. And hopefully we'll see people in actual bars. That'd be cool too.
You're the kind of girl that makes a man wait. Take everything off of his plate and just slow down. You baby right now. You know that you got me right where you want.